So, hello, good day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Again, my name is Laban Dato Anfar and ngayon po is pagpapatuloy po ng discussion ng previous ng aking mga kasama sa group na ito. So, our discussion is schizophrenia and other psychotic disorder. So, we are the group 14 together with Miss Aiza and Miss Batulan and also Laksame. So, sa part na ito po is pagpapatuloy po ng other interventions na ginagamit ng mga therapist to provide an intervention to those patients na merong mga disorder na yun. So, itong mga therapeutic techniques is ginagamit siya sa cognitive behavioral therapy or coping skills training. So, especially sa mga patients na merong schizophrenia and psychosis. So, itong method na ito is ginagamit siya para ma-manage yung mga, syempre of course, kapag meron silang schizophrenia, kadalasan na simptomas na lumalabas is that naghahallucinate sila or nagde-delusion sila. And sometimes, nagkakaroon sila ng negative thought. So, by doing this, is binabago natin yung kung paano sila mag-isip, kung paano sila mag-behave, and paano sila mag-respond emotionally sa kalagayan nila na yun. So, unang-unang talakayang intervention natin is modified self-statement and eternal dialogue. So, basically, is ginagamit ito ng therapy para tulungan yung mga patient para ma-manage yung isipan and emotion nila by way of pagtuturo ng pagsalita ng helpful or calming na mga salita sa kanilang sarili. So instead na sabihin nila, no, hindi ko kaya ito, or kumbaga somewhat affirming na salita, kumbaga, let's say may kinakatakutan ka or meron kang kinakabahan ka sa isang bagay nito. So we can say it na I don't need to be afraid. So ito yung mga bagay na tinuturo natin sa kanila. So kumbaga maging positive. So you have to keep going, you can do this, kayang-kaya ko to. Yes, so that is, so una is tuturuan natin sila or gagamit yung mga therapies na you can say it out loud on the first time, and on to the next time you can say it into a little less louder and slowly by sasabihin mo na siya onto your isipan na lang, and then you can practice this all the time kapag meron nasa sitwasyon ka na kumbaga nahihirapan ka, and then hanggang sa masanay ka, and then you can practice this na kumbaga yung response mo sa mga negative thoughts, and kumbaga negative thoughts mo, you can respond it na into positive. Kumbaga kaya mo na siyang i-manage. So by practicing this, somewhat could help the patients that have those symptoms. So on to the next one is reattribution. So again, kapag meron kang schizophrenia and other psychotic disorder, so one of the signs or symptoms na lalabas is that meron silang maririnig na boses or feel nila is pinapanood sila. So, ayan. So, bakit siya napaka-importante na pag-aralan? So, syempre, kapag meron silang ganun, lumalabas na simptomas, na-interpret yung sinasabi or thought na na-express doon into a negative way. So, ngayon, ma-stress yung mga patient natin, or na kung saan maapektuhan yung behavior nila and their emotional condition. So, ngayon naman, gagamit tayo sa part ng reattribution na ito, gagamit tayo ng evidence-based reattribution, na kung saan, instead na you believe yung paniniwala na may nagsasalita sa isipan mo or merong nanonood sa iyo, so magkakaroon ng evidence-based reattribution. So yung evidence-based reattribution, so through that, kumbaga, um, magkakaroon ng progress na they o belief na kumbaga pinaniniwalaan nila na nothing is exaggerate. Kumbaga hindi siya ganun kalala na wala ka naman nakikita and wala kang naririnig or wala namang tao, so or wala namang nanonood. So by way of that, natutulungan natin yung patient na yon na um, um, ma-practice yung realistic na kung saan matutulungan nila ma-build yung mental health nila by way of that. So the next one is awareness training. So basically, ang awareness training is it helps the patients notice and understand yung mga symptoms na yon. So especially when they are starting, instead of reacting doon sa or magiging upset or magiging sad, they accept kung ano yung nangyayari doon sa symptoms na yon. So instead na magpapanik, instead na matakot, they just learn to think. Kumaga, meron kang naririnig na boses, I don't need to react. Hindi ko na kailangan. Kumbaga, aware ako, alam ko yan. So, this is just a symptom, kumbaga, na I can choose how to respond. So, by way of this learning symptoms, itong symptoms na ito, we can stay calm and take control of the situation, and pwede natin ma-divert yung situation na yun into positive. Kumbaga, magfo-focus na lang tayo into positive things, and instead na maging, kumbaga, focus doon sa situation na yon. The next naman po is the arousing technique. So basically, si the arousing technique is ginagamit siya para to prevent maging exaggerate yung situation. Lalo na kapag merong high emotional arousal na tulad ng pagpapanik or pagkatakot. So kapag lumabas yung symptoms na yon, yung mga symptoms ng lumabas yung mga symptoms nila, tinuturuan natin sila to reduce yung stress na yon by way of calming your actions, or kumaga kinakalma ka instead na kumaga binibilisan mo yung mga actions mo. Instead, you relax. So, huminga ka na malalim, and then you focus on peaceful, kumaga, ikalma mo yung isipan mo, i-relax mo yung sarili mo. So, yun, kumaga napaka-practical siya na solution, and napaka-mabilis para ma-manage yung emotion, and para makalma yung symptoms na lumalabas sa patients. Instead na magpanic, mas mapapalalo nito yung situation and condition ng isang patient. So, that is the arousing technique. Kumaga, gumagamit ng method na to kalma and to relax. So, yan. Ngayon naman is increase activity level. So, basically, ang idea dito is that mag-focus ka sa isang bagay. Instead na, kumaga mag-work ka, dagdagan mo yung mga trabaho mo. Hindi ka lang, kumaga hindi ibig sabihin na meron kang sakit, and then nakahilata ka lang, and then, kasi sa paraan na ito, kumaga wala kang sense of purpose, wala kang focus sa isang bagay. So, ngayon, pwedeng ma-worsen yung mga symptoms kasi nakafocus ka doon. Kumaga naging inactive ka eh. So, instead na wala kang ginagawa, pwede kang magkaroon ng simple plans and activities, pwede kang maglakad, pwede kang magkaroon ng hobbies mo na pwede kang makapag-focus doon. So, ngayon, pwede mong ma-focus yung utak mo sa isang bagay instead na makapag-focus ka doon sa symptoms na meron ka. So, kumbaga, nagkakaroon ka ngayon ng purpose, nagkakaroon ka ng sense of, kapag nagawa mo yung isang activity, nagkakaroon ka ng sense of accomplishment, and that helps your emotions and you as a person din. Natutulungan ka niya positively na naging active ka in a good way. Kumbaga, hindi rin, kumbaga, nakokontrol mo yung sarili mo. So, in that way, throughout the process, nakakapag-focus ka sa much meaningful na bagay instead doon sa mga symptoms or sa illness mo. Kumbaga, nadadivert mo yung emotion mo sa much meaningful and much proactive na bagay. So, ngayon naman po is si social engagement and disengagement. So, basically, is ito yung pag-interact mo. Kapag meron kang sakit, meron kang schizophrenia, mahirap sa'yo makapag-interact sa ibang tao, makipag-socialize. Kasi, may mga negative effect ito sa emotions and behavior mo. Yun na nga. So, sa symptoms na ito, sa interventions na ito, encourage yung participants na to have at least somehow interactions. But hindi siya sobra. Kumbaga, balance lamang. Kumbaga, meron siyang time na kumbaga, hindi naman sobra yung pag-interact mo. So, in that way, nagkakaroon ka ng socialization, nadidistract mo yung sarili mo, and there's a benefit in socializing din naman. Nakakatulong siya emotionally, and kumbaga, mahirap din na you isolate yourself, na nakafocus ka lamang doon sa sakit mo, and then, wala kang someone na to talk with, and mas lalo pang lalala yung sakit mo. So, you have to have a socialize. So, you have to makipag-usap sa ibang tao, and makipag-socialize. So, ngayon naman is si belief modification. From the word itself, belief, yung paniniwala mo na binabago mo. So, instead na kumbaga so si belief modification is basically kine-question mo yung mga unrealistic belief mo, yung mga, kasi syempre nagde-delusion ka. So ngayon, you provide, kumbaga, you look onto the fact, yung mga katotohanan instead of sa mga delusion mo. You ask yourself, totoo ba ito? So, if not, you cannot give evidence. May mga evidence ba? So, you can convince yourself na hindi siya totoo. So, yun. The goal is to find an explanation para to prevent yung stress and yung fear through that delusions. So, nako-convince mo yung sarili mo sa yung delusion mo to put it into a realistic para makita mo sa sarili mo na hindi siya totoo. So, tulad nung may naririnig kang boses and may tumitingin sa'yo. So, meron siyang proof ba, or meron bang talaga bang may tumitingin sa akin, or may nagsasalita ba from my behind? So with that, question natin and nakakapag-provide ng an explanation, and makita natin na hindi siya totoo. And yun nga, it's belief modification. So minomodify natin kung paano tayo mag-isip, lalong-lalo na yung mga patients na may schizophrenia. The next one is reality testing behavioral experiment. So basically, is tinatawag din siyang behavioral experiment because what it means is checking if the belief is true by trying something in real life situation. So instead na thinking about the belief na, let's say, people are laughing about me or they are laughing to me. So the patient takes on actions to see yung belief nila is actually true ba. So sa factor na ito, it's beneficial because kumbaga nasa-challenge niya yung fear and doubts niya, and makikita niya clearly kung ano talaga yung situation. So, halimbawa, if they feel na may tumitingin sa kanila, why not try and see if people actually observing him. So, if nothing happens, if people are not observing based on the evidence you have seen in real life situation, then mariresolva na yung doubt of belief, and you become more confident na no one's actually watching. So, napaka mabuti po ng reality testing, which is tinatawag na behavioral experiment. So, people, on this part, enhancing coping strategies, people can learn different ways to cope with symptoms. Tulad nung sinabi natin kanina, when we have delusionals or lumalabas yung mga symptoms ng schizophrenia, they've heard voices or, yeah. So, some strategies are simple, tulad nung pagda-divert mo ng attention mo, and pag-challenge mo ng belief mo instead na kumbaga binibigyan mo ng pruweba na your belief is hindi totoo, and by way of that, kumbaga nakakalm natin yung sarili natin, which is also an intervention, which is the de-arousing technique, and to think more clearly of the symptoms and to test the belief if it's actually true. Kasi kung hindi, we might not exaggerate the situation. So, yes, these skills, yung mga interventions na yon, pwedeng makatulong sa tao para makontrol nila yung mga yung sakit nila. So, napaka-importante po itong to enhance coping strategies para to help patients to realize that the voice yung voice sa kanilang na bumabagabag sa isipan nila could be wrong or could be hindi impactful, or to convince na they are not helpless. Kumbaga, there are some ways na pwede siya resolbahan, and do they also have a control sa kanilang sakit. So, this builds a confidence and help them cope better to build confidence sa kanilang sarili. So, to proceed is, the next one is modification of, so, on to the last one is modification of behavior or cognitive. So, kung paano ka mag-act and paano ka mag-isip, both dalawa na ito is napaka-importante. Kasi, kapag binago natin yung behavior natin, and pwede nito mabago yung paano tayo mag-isip ng negative and unhelpful na thoughts, and mababago nito into positive way. And when we change our thought into positive way, into a healthier way, it can help naman mabago yung sarili natin into sa behavior na part naman na magiging mabuti into positive way. So, yung therapist, part ng therapist, as they notice, kumbaga, ina-address nila when patients or yung mga tao, when they avoid yung mga or yung paggamit ng safety behavior, or kumbaga they stop from facing or fear or testing their belief. Kumbaga, itong avoidance na to, behavior na ito, can be used as a small test sa behavioral experiment na yun para ma-change and ma-change yung false or negative belief. For example, if someone believes, I have no control over my life, try small new behaviors can help prove this wrong. Even simple changes, kahit small changes pa yan, it has a big differences that na kung saan makakatulong sa patient na makakaramdam ng sense of control sa kanilang sa kanilang life. So, yeah, the therapist usually encourage the patients for a small behavior na kung saan makakapag gradually build ng confidence and open for a door for improvement. So, through this thinking and feeling. So, yun po, maraming salamat. I hope may natutunan po kayo, and also I hope you learn something. Maraming salamat.